everyone, it is the Bookatarian here for another video. Today I will be filming part 2 of my August TBR, more specifically the books that I plan to read for the specific readathons that I'm participating in this month. I'm participating in 2 readathons. One is a month-long readathon and one is only for the first 2 weeks of the month. So the first one is the 2 weeks, which is the Merlin Readathon that's taking place from the 1st of August to the 15th, and I will leave the creator's channel's name down in my description box, so if you want, just search their channel and you can find their announcement videos that way, and all of the rules and all of the individual prompts that you can pick from. This is a choose your own adventure, kind of, or a choose your own path readathon, so you pick whatever starting point you want and you can go anywhere from there once you've read that first prompt. I am participating completely, so I'll be trying to fulfill 4 of the prompts that you need to achieve the rank of magician or mage. I think mage, magician, something like that. Same difference, really. I'm a really big fan of the TV show Merlin, so I was really excited when they announced, or when even their Twitter account was hinting at it coming like a month before their announcement video dropped, so I was really, really excited for that when I heard about it. Anyways, so my prompts that I picked specifically were Arthurian Retelling, book with the snake on the cover, book that is less than 250 pages, and a book with emotional punch. For the Arthurian Retelling, I am reading Legendborn by Tracy Dion, which is a book that I've been meaning to read for a very long time. Glad that I can finally get to it now. And this follows the main character, whose name I don't know, which is not a surprise. Bree. So, Bree Matthews' mom passed away not that long ago, just before she goes to college. And she knows that the school she's going to, there's this secret society in one of the sorority or fraternity house. It's a secret society at the college that she's going to, and she thinks they might have something to do with her mother's death or know something about it. And she soon discovers that it is kind of an occult secret society and that they do magic. And it's supposed to be a very loosely based Arthurian retelling, but Bree, I believe, is supposed to be Arthur. So for the prompt with the book, with the snake on the cover, I have Sisters of the Snake by the twins Serena and Sasha Nanua. This is a Princess and the Pauper retelling with an Indian setting and Indian-based fantasy culture, I believe, and it follows Princess Rani and Rhea. Rhea is a thief who's living on the streets and just wants to escape from the people who are looking for her, and Princess Rani is encountering problems with her people. She's not getting a lot of respect, and she would rather be feared, so she's trying to make herself scarier, I guess. Anyways, they stumble across each other at some point and realize that they look very alike, so they pull switcheroo, and chaos, I'm assuming, ensues. Okay, so for the prompt of a book less than 250 pages, I managed to pull something over from my regular TBR, which is Sailor Moon Volume 1. This is a manga. Oh. The author is Naoko Takeuchi. And this follows a young girl in high school who somehow comes to realize that she has supernatural powers and becomes somewhat of a superhero, from what I can remember. I haven't read it since this is the first volume, so I don't know if that's a really good summarization or not, but glad I can fit some smaller books onto this additional TBR. Okay, and then the last prompt is an emotional punch read, which I'm putting Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson back on here from my original TBR as well. This follows a teenage girl who goes on vacation with her family and comes upon the news that her father is very sick and will die very soon. And so it's just their family taking advantage of what might be their last family vacation together. Okay, so that is it for the Merlin Readathon. So the month-long readathon is the Royalty Readathon, which is the Disney themed readathon, and the specific theme for this specific Royal Readathon is sidekicks. So every prompt is based off of a sidekick character from one of the movies. And I don't have the characters' names for all the prompts, I just have the prompt requirements written down. So if you want to see the original video, the creators did a really good job describing it and encapsulating the characters with these prompts. So I highly recommend you go and watch their video. So for prompt number 1, it is a book that is less than 300 pages. And for that one, so I have My Hero Academia by Kohei Horikoshi. I was considering grabbing Sailor Moon for this as well, but I figure more manga isn't really going to slow me down all that much. Anyways, the first volume of My Hero Academia follows a young boy by the name of Izuku Midoriya, and he lives in a world in which 80% of the human population has been born with some kind of superpower, which they call quirks. And because of all of these quirks circulating in the population, heroism is a full-on job funded by the government. You can become a professional superhero and be very famous or just very rich, or both. And it is Izuku's #1 dream to become the greatest superhero of all time, like his favorite superhero, All Might, who is the #1 most powerful, most successful superhero, and he just happens to be native to Japan, where Izuku lives. Only problem with Izuku, though, is that he was not born with a quirk, until one day he happens to get rescued by All Might in a chance meeting, and he asks All Might if he can still become a superhero without having a quirk. All Might unfortunately tells him that no, it is not possible, but if he proves himself worthy, All Might will give Izuku his power. And for prompt number 2, I have a book with a dragon on the cover, or as a part of the book, just in general. And I have Burn by Patrick Ness. You can see the dragon is on the cover, although it's just a black to the black background, so it's kind of hard to see. And this book takes place in the early time of the civil rights era, but this world is a little bit different to our own, as there are dragons that live among the humans population, and the main character is black and she lives with her father, and they own and work on their farm, and they've enlisted the help of a dragon to help guard their farm. Okay, so for prompt number 3, it is music, and for this I have The Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. This is actually book 3, The Burning Maze, and the first book, which is called The Hidden Oracle, follows Apollo as he suffers from the events of, or the after effects of the end of the Heroes of Olympus series. Zeus blames Apollo for how a lot of the things went down at the end, and so as punishment, Zeus sends Apollo down to Earth and takes away his immortality and all of his, or almost all of his godlike abilities, and so he's basically the same as every other demigod now, pretty much. And he has given them a new identity as Lester Pedopoulos, something like that. It's a very Greek name. And he is not nearly as attractive as he was as a god. He's just kind of an average person now. And the reason why this is kind of music related is Apollo has very few of his godlike abilities. One of them is that he can kind of weave magic through song, and he has a magical ukulele, and it's also kind of a weaponized ukulele as well. Anyway, so music is one of the few abilities that he still has access to, and so that's why this is fulfilling of the music prompt. Prompt number 4, it is a cheesy book, and for this I have Check Please, volume, or book 2, Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Scones. Sticks and Scones is the second book's name. And this follows Eric Biddle as he, or the first book follows Eric Biddle as he starts his first year at a college, and he's there on a hockey scholarship. Only problem is he's only ever skated as a figure skater up until this point, so hockey is still kind of a new concept for him. He is gay, and he really likes to bake and has a vlogging channel on YouTube. and he quickly develops a crush on the team's captain, whose name is Jack, who doesn't seem to like him very much. And I loved the first book. A lot of the humor that was mentioned was super cheesy, but the humor in here is really fun, lighthearted, and very cheesy at times, so that's why I put this down for this prompt, because I assumed that the humor in this book would be much the same. Number 5, it is read a middle grade or a children's book, and I have Shatterglass by Tamora Pierce, continuing my rereading of Circle Magic series. There are 3 of them so far, and this is the last book in the second quartet, following Triss and her tutor Nico as they travel to some place that I don't remember the name of, and they somehow Triss stumbles upon a untrained mage who is a little bit younger than her, and she is then required to teach them in some way. I didn't care to look up the summary because I just don't care about Triss, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do have to reread this book before I can continue on with when I officially am not rereading anymore. I will actually just be reading for the first time Will of the Empress come September. And so for prompt number 6, we have a funny book. And for that one, again, I picked Check Please because, like I said, there was a lot of humor in the first one, and I'm assuming and hoping that it is just as funny, cutesy, and romantic as the first one was. For number 7, it is a colorful book, and I chose My Hero Academia, Volume 4, because it's got so many different colors. Yes, red is the main color of the background, but we got all this different hair colors up in here. Literally, it's so colorful. The characters, it's a very super colorful cast. All right, so prompt number 8 is a greedy book or a book with a greedy character. And for that I chose Apollo again because Apollo, at least in the very first book, he is established as a fairly greedy character because his reasonings for completing all of these quests that are given to him is because he just wants to be immortal again because things were so much better when he was immortal. And so it's kind of a greedy factor, so I counted it. And then for prompt number 9, it is a book with death of some sort, and I kind of cheated a little bit and chose Second Chance Summer because while nobody's actually dying in this book as far as I'm aware, upcoming death is kind of inevitable, so I figured it counted enough. 10 is a book with mythology, and for that I'm choosing Apollo again. I've definitely managed to combine a lot of these books all into one. Obviously, this is not including the 2 audiobooks ebooks that I'll be reading this month, but it's a heavy stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11 books on my TBR. But thank you all so much for watching this video. I will see you all in my next video soon.